I didn't notice it until I was asking questions like 3 days ago. I was like, do you have any questions for one of the guys from Bowling for Soup? And they're like, literally like 5 of the questions were like, what about Stacy's mom? How is Stacy's mom doing? Like, why do you think that is?
It's crazy. I mean, it just started happening. It was really organic. It was weird. We just started showing up at shows, and there'd be people with signs or homemade shirts that said, play Stacy's mom, and then people would come up like, hey, I am Stacy's mom, and I'd be like, tell Stacy hello.
Hey man, this is Tommy Chong. Right now you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
It's Jordan Belfort, the real Wolfbook Wall Street, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Sean Danielson from Smile Empty Soul, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol Baskin, and you are listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
This is Shirley Phelps Roper with the Westboro Baptist Church, and you are listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
What's up? It's Tom from Play White Tees, hanging out on the Anthony Rogers Show. What's up everyone? This is Ray from Harmony Peace, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show. I'm Baby No Money, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show, the best podcast.
It's Jake and Sebastian of the Conarks, and you are listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
Brian Vanderark from the Verve Pipe here, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, this is James Jude Courtney, Michael Myers, a.k.a. The Shape, in Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and the soon-to-be-released Halloween Ends. And this is the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hello there, everyone. This is Nick Ganbarian from the band Bayside, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
I am Dave Holmes from MTV and Esquire Magazine, and you are listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
What's up, everybody? WWE Hall of Famer, the Godfather, and cannabis expert, and connoisseur, and you're watching the Anthony Rogers Show. Peace.
Yo, thanks for watching the show. Today we're going to try some Uplift plant power vegan protein, vanilla flavored. So thank you, Uplift, for the package. And thank you for watching this. Support our sponsors. Link in the description. You can get 25% off if you use the promo code in the description. So we're taking a scoop right here, pulling it, getting it fucking everywhere. Okay. I put some magnesium and D3 in here. I mean, you probably should put vitamin K2 if you're taking this much D3, but I mixed that in there. That's just me. That's just, I'm being honest. If you saw something in there in the cup, or if you just wanted to know what I'm actually drinking. But I'm going for the Uplift plant power vegan protein for the protein to see what goes on. 14 grams per serving. Cool. So again, there's a promo code if you want a discount. That's my water going. Okay, cool. I put some purified water in here. Uplift makes a lot of good products. Check out what they do. Go to the website description, kind of look around a little bit. They got a lot of cool stuff in there. Cool. I put less water than probably you would or something, because I just want to right now. So I just want the protein, more or less. Good fucking taste. I mean, tastes like oatmeal cookies to me personally, but like fresh baked like oatmeal cookies. Like, so if you like that taste, I mean, I think it'd go well. And I think this stuff's pretty good for you too. It's I mean, it's just interesting. And I'm really thankful to try this. And if you like me and you drink a lot of protein drinks, maybe something you may just want to try in your mix, you know. Or if you like it a lot, just replace what you're using protein. But I like mixing it up. This is gonna be like one of my 4 like kind of go-tos, I think. So I think like I actually tried this the other day too, and I was trying the taste right now, but for the ad, but I just think that it's really clean. It felt really good when I was the energy it gave me before I worked out and stuff. It was pretty good. Like, cool. So if you want to make your own decision, see if you like Uplift proteins, check them out. Link in the description. I believe Anthony25 is the promo code. If it's not, it's in the description too. Bam. Welcome back to the greatest show in the entire universe. Today we have a guest, Reverend Bob Levy. How are you doing, man?
Doing good, brothers. Good to see you, man.
And then with 5 minutes notice, Ryder Neil Pollock came here. It's a co-host. How are you doing, man?
I'm fine, and I'm always available.
At 5 minutes notice, he's like, I'm down. Okay, so yeah, I got some like questions and stuff people were asking. Like, I asked people to like email me and like other things like that. Like,
cool.
And some of them are pretty obvious. I mean, like, who were some of like your favorite comedians like growing up and stuff? Like who were some like the top guys to you? I guess.
Like before I got into comedy.
Yeah.
Absolutely nobody. I mean, I didn't listen to comedy. I just got in. I just fell into this basically, you know. And the first one I ever really seen was Eddie Murphy's first special. But you know, I've seen some prior in that, but Call and that's it. You know, not much. I'm not. You know, I don't like to sit down and watch comedy. It's like too much. If I did porn, I don't want to watch people fuck.
That's hilarious. So you don't even like watching comedy. It's like I like that answer. How'd you get into comedy like originally?
Well, we used to hang out at this bar in Staten Island, and my job was to make fun of people that we didn't know that came in, so they wanted to fight us. So that was my job. So I would make fun of them and like kind of roast them, and I guess I was pretty good at it because I guess we got in a lot of fights. And then we used to listen to Howard Stern. We found out Jackie the Joke Man had a open mic at Rascals on a Tuesday, and my friend said, "Why don't you try it?" So I just put together like 10 minutes, and it started like that.
That's crazy. Like, so it wasn't even like a goal. You're just like roasting people drunk and shit, basically.
Yeah, people that came in we didn't know. I just tried to piss them off so they would fight us, and we were just assholes. And it turned out to be a fun thing down the road.
What's some of the shit you'd say to these people that come in? Like,
I don't remember, but I would just. It probably wasn't nice because the object was for them to be mad and fucking start swinging. So.
So you just saw them and roast them, basically, like how are they, like, whatever they had going on, you're just like, fuck that.
Yeah, and basically,
whatever you're doing.
Yeah, whatever they were doing, whatever they were sitting, it didn't matter, you know. It was just to get them riled up.
Cool. Some other questions, like how long were you on the Howard Stern show? Like, how long was that?
I think it was about 8 years, maybe a little more than 8 years. It was great. It was like a fucking. It was a classic time in radio, especially for that show. It was one of the peak times. There was like a peak time before with, Jackie and fucking Billy West and Kinnison, and then that's when I came on. Like when Artie came on, so that was another peak of a different kind of show, but just as crazy, I think.
Yeah, that was like the only radio show. Like, I think, like that people listen. And from my perspective, that's like the only radio show like people listen to like back at that time frame. That was crazy.
It was big all over. I mean, when I first started, we were on regular radio and we were everywhere. And it's crazy to just go into New York City and do a show and then be able to fly to Florida and people heard it there, back then. Like everywhere, crazy. People knew who you were. It was a show that basically everybody in the country knew who I was, and everybody in the world knew who I was because of the reach he had. He was all over the world. It's sick.
That's gotta be that's gotta be intense, man. Like, so like, where's your favorite place to do shows at and shit? Like, where do you like going? Like Florida and shit, or like where do you go?
I mean, Florida's cool. Like anywhere, Arizona's cool. Fucking. I was just at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, which is just such a great room. It's like it's almost too easy. You know what I mean? When you're in a room like that, because the audience is ready. You just got to be good. If you're good, it's going to be amazing. You know, those you do all the shitty rooms to be able to go into a room like that and just go, this is what it's about. You know, this is why I did all that shit.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, hard work, man. Like, how did things end with like the Stern show? Like, I know you said it a million fucking times and different things, but like, what's like in your own words, like rather than like public, like you know what I mean, like.
Well,
articles.
it was it just got crazy. There was too many people involved, and to talk to Howard or something was bad, and stuff got bad, and I lost it. They lost it. They took it too far. I took it even further, and like I had the cops come to my house, the NYPD Blue, and the FBI was involved, and but they just said you can't threaten to kill somebody, and I was like, well,
who'd you threaten to kill? Like I that's what I mean. I've only read articles about it. Like who'd you threaten to? What exactly happened? I have no fucking. I've only read shit about this. Like.
Well, I was just when I went on my show. I was probably addicted to Xanax by then. After my doctor gave me like 6 milligrams a day, so after a while, it just fries you. It's the worst thing you can take because there's no in between of your mood. It's either very happy or very angry. You don't have a perfect day on that, and I recommend nobody get hooked on that shit. And I was out of control, and I was so mad. I just thought I can get his attention by threatening to kill him and his wife. And you know, that's how fucking out of control my mind was back there. And you know, you can't do that. Anyone out there that wants to know, you can't just especially today, you can't even do that. If that was today, I probably would have been in jail. You know, I was lucky it was 2010.
You're the FBI showed your house over that.
Not the FBI, but they were involved at NYPD Blue said because you know the guy's fucking, you know, he's a millionaire. He doesn't need this shit from some fucking lunatic, and I get it now. At that time, I didn't get it, but actually, it was my point of trying to say, hey, let's talk, let's sit down. But you couldn't get that. If you said that to somebody, they would have never done anything. It just got real ugly, and it was both sides. It's not just me, believe me.
That's crazy, man. So, and like in like awesome news too, like you played like Woodstock '99, like you did a set there.
Yeah, I did a set there. It was
what the fuck was that like? What was it? That's gotta be crazy.
It was it's fucking ridiculous. We went there just to party, really, and they put us on a stage somewhere, and you know, people listened, people didn't listen. I remember somebody threw like a 32-ounce bottle of piss at Don Jameson when he was on stage, and it just missed his head. And it was more fun. It was the adventure of just being there and fucking like having a tent to be in with all these hippie people they had us in that cooked the food, and we were in this big fucking tent, and it was just insane. You know, it was just to see all those people and the bands, Green Day, you know, when they were really hot then. And I was it 99 or the other one? It might have been the other one. 99 was the one that went on fire. I was there with Aerosmith headline.
94
then. Yeah.
Okay. Woodstock 94. Yeah. That's still crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's just insane that, you know, the so many people come and just to have a good time.
I can't believe it's just like funny to be able to say as a comic you played Woodstock. I don't know why. It's just fucking crazy, man. Like, like when someone told me that, like I was like, what the fuck? Like,
I mean, it was great. We got to see the bands for nothing. We got, you know, we fucking drank. We fucking they had co-ed showers there, and there was one guy that went in and took a shower every half hour because of you know, there was some hot girls there, and like I was so coked out back then. I went in there and I was like, I was packing nothing in my pants because of the coke. And Florentine goes, how was it? I go, I got booed out of the shower. You know what I mean? I had no dick in my pants. It was just like, but it was hilarious. So it was like a time you don't forget, you know? It wasn't anything where a money making thing or anything like that. It was just really cool.
No, it sounds like it, man. That's crazy. What's like your favorite part, like the ride so far, man? Like what you've done so far and shit? Like what's like
Like your moment, you're like, holy fuck, this like this is crazy, you know?
What do you mean? Say it again. I kind of broke up a little.
Yeah. What I guess what moment makes you like? What's your favorite moment in all this, man? Like in like your comedy career, I guess the way to say it.
I don't know. There's a lot. I mean, it could be big things. It could be little things. You know what I mean? It's just such a fucking to be able to do something that you like is unbelievable, man. Like, I mean, you're always going to remember doing 5,000 people or more in California with Artie and DePaulo and Craig. I remember it was just insane. And all these celebrities were there, and it's like you don't realize that they listen. You know, it's just the weirdest thing. You know, a lot of them knew Artie, but then a lot of them were just like they knew the show. They totally knew the show. They knew everything about everybody, which was amazing. You know, I never thought of anything. I just think, oh, I'm going to go and do this. And then you go home and then you live your life. But you don't realize how many people are actually hearing you. And that's the crazy thing.
No, it is. It's like that's like for anybody like watching, like how I didn't know who you were when I met you, and like you were like someone told me you're a reverend, and I was like just assuming on the podcast like you're a reverend or whatever, and then like chain smoking cigarettes and shit. And I'm just like trying to like straight. I'm slowly seeing your and I'm getting in on the joke as it goes and shit, and thought it was fucking hilarious. And I told like 2 or 3 people, and they're like, yeah, dude, I know that that guy was from Howard Stern's Stupid. Like you mean like they were literally just like basically just like told me I'm an idiot for not like no that wasn't. I thought that was like a funny like kind of intro, and like you're killing me, man. Like I think that's like that was like one of the like, and I don't think I ever meet funny people on podcasts, man. Normally it's like weird shit like.
Well, that's what it depends what kind of show it is. You know what I mean? That was with I think it was Doug's show, Doug Almeida, and we were just having fun. Great, and I like busting Doug's balls when he tries to get into the stories and be like a real news guy. And you know, we just have fucking fun. I mean, like I like people that it's nice to meet like comedians that are people that you would be friends with even if you weren't in the business. There isn't a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real. Yeah.
And when you can find that in somebody like Doug, like it just hit it off. You know what I mean? It's like he's a good guy. He's not fucking, you know, a lot of douchebags in the business, but that's okay. You know, everybody's got egos, I guess, and sometimes they can't handle it. You know, they act like girls. They act like girls, basically. But it's
that's so real. That's so real. Most comedians, I'd say, dude. Like, yeah, they're just like very insecure and like, dude, like I don't know. That's funny. I was just picturing like all these people getting heckled one time. Like I saw like all these like comedians get heckled like this thing. And there's like and none of them could take it. They're like stomping off, like hey, like you know. There's just the show's hilarious, dude. Like these young guys, man, that like these like 20-year-old, 19-year-olds and shit, man. They can't, dude, they can't take hecklers, man. It's hilarious.
But that's where I would. Like at the beginning, when somebody was interested, like they got into the business, they were interested, they were good, they had something, I would take them to places like that. I would only take them to the worst places because, you know, when you're in, you have to be able to survive. And then when you're in a good room, like I was saying, like the Stress Factory the other day, it's easy. It's supposed to be like that. So it's easier for you. If you get all this training and you're fucking ducking and fucking everything's coming, whatever, you have to, all that prepares you for doing what you're supposed to do is kill in a good crowd. You know what I mean? But like a lot of people, I go, you're never going to learn in front of a good crowd. You're going to learn in front of a shitty crowd. And that's when you're going to learn. And that's when I'm going to push you to do more time. So you're fucking totally awkward and you're totally fucking scared. And once you get that out of you, you become an animal.
I don't know. I totally fucking agree, man. That's the best way, probably. It's like, yeah, no, that's like, they have to deal with things. Like, I mean, eventually they're going to, unless you have to have it in hard mode, I think, man. Like, I think, like, I don't know. Where are you from? You're from New York City, I guess, then?
Well, yeah, I was born in Brooklyn and Staten Island. We did, what is it?
At Revolution Coffee Company, we are dedicated to giving you the best cup of coffee you have ever had, while supporting those who keep us safe. We roast our coffee daily, and we offer same-day shipping. Our coffee never sits in a warehouse or a shelf getting stale. Our prices beat our competition, and our coffee speaks for itself. Check us out at revolutioncoffeecompany.com.
Wow, he froze on that one. I shouldn't have talked about fucking moving to Jersey. You froze big time. Where are you? Like in the fucking? You look like you're in a place where they're growing weed behind you, somewhere in the woods. I expect people to come cutting it down and that shit. I love it, man.
I like the parking lot.
No, yeah, I'm in the middle of the wood. I'm in the middle of the woods. Yeah, like guys. We'll edit that. We'll edit whatever I'm in. But I'd be like, no, you're saying. Last I heard, you're from Brooklyn, and then I'm like, I had this long pause. And like,
yeah, then Brooklyn, Staten Island, Jersey, and I just ended up staying here. I like it here. We were gonna move, but we figured let's redo the house, and still waiting for my pool to get in. The good thing, it'll be here right after Labor Day, so I lost the whole fucking summer. Isn't it fucking great? I mean, the fucking deals I make.
You're ready for next year, but yeah, that does suck. That does suck. I was just, man, summer was cool, man. I mean, it's almost over, I guess. I had a fucking good summer though, man. Like, I was just like traveled a bunch and fucking like doing all that stuff.
That's what it's about, man. It's like we got to go to. We worked in Key West. The wife came down there, and I went to Arizona. I don't travel that much, but I like to go to places that are cool, you know, or people that I know are cool, because then it's fun. You always look forward to seeing like some of the comedians that are there and whatever, like stuff like that, and the owners.
Dude, no, that totally makes sense, man. Like, why would you go anywhere you don't want to go, man? Like, I wouldn't do it either.
Yeah, it's annoying when like you go there and just like, you know, they're like sometimes the owners don't know how to be kind to people because they're used to shitting on comedians, and you know, they expect, oh yeah, like, oh, last week was packed, you know what I mean? It's like, well, fucking you advertise, you get them here, I kill, that's it. But it's not about that anymore, and it's kind of crazy. But a lot of owners are really cool, but there are some douchebags, because you know, anybody can become a booker. All you got to do is find a room and you're a booker, you're an agent, whatever the fuck. I don't know how it works, and it's the same thing about true. It's the same thing about being a comedian. All you got to do is fucking get a picture on stage and put it on your Facebook that you're a fucking comedian, and people are like, "Oh, I knew you're so funny at the party." You know, it's like it should be done as a business. You have to be. You should. Without seeing the best, the audiences don't come back. If you have mediocre shows, then they're not going to come back, and they think comedy isn't funny. You got to do it right.
No, you nailed like a lot of subjects that are on point. Yeah, like, he's like, a lot of these guys that just do open mics, like the Funny Bone or something like that, and like take pictures of it and like put it on there, like yeah, I do the Funny Bone. I'm like, yeah, it's like an open mic that you signed up for and had 5 minutes on. You know what I mean? Or whatever the fuck, you know, it's like so funny. Like, I like seeing people do that shit, man. Like, no, yeah, I think if you don't make money at it, you're not doing comedy. Like, that's my opinion. You have a hobby outside of it. If you're not making money at it, like, you have a hobby.
But if you're not getting laid either, if you're not making money, you can get away with that. If you're getting laid, you can go, hey, you know, that helped me, so I must be a comedian because I wasn't getting laid before. Yeah,
that's fun. What do you think, Neil?
About what?
What do you think makes you a comedian? Like, what do you think like makes somebody a comedian?
Well, I'm not a comedian. I mean,
you're a writer.
I haven't.
You're right.
I'm a writer. I mean, I used to love like doing readings in public and making people laugh, but I just haven't had the opportunity in years, you know. And with the pandemic, like my entire industry shut. Everything moved to Zoom.
Yeah.
And a lot of writers are still like hiding, even today. So it's like I just haven't had an opportunity, you know. I used to love getting up on stage and talking shit though.
Yeah, see, the good thing, like, writing is cool, like it shows and everything. It's just like you can come up with a great idea, but you don't a lot of, unless you have connections, it just doesn't go anywhere. It's just the way it is, you know. It's like it's very hard to say, hey, fucking, how do I get into this? How do I get a meeting? How do I get? They go, well, do you have any showrunners? You have I don't, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck it.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, yeah, TV's always been, it's been, I've tried for years to really hard for like 4 or 5 years. I moved to Los Angeles and tried to get into it. And I never got to see the part of Hollywood where there were cameras, you know? But I was talking about like just doing live readings and stuff. Like I just haven't had the opportunity. But I used to love it, and I would do it again if someone would ask. But no one's asking because I don't know. Like my my point of view is really off from what like most writers are expressing these days, and so it's hard. So like that world's shut down to me at the moment.
That sucks.
That's all right. It's fine. I'm doing fine. I'm supporting myself. I don't really care. It's just kind of weird to see like how kind of insular and scared most writers have become.
Oh yeah.
The pandemic just like drove them crazy.
It did.
A lot of people crazy, but I was just like, come on, where's your skepticism? You know, where's your criticism of the powers that be? Like, what are you doing? Why are we wearing masks in the library?
Yeah, well, people are afraid. They follow, and they're afraid. They like to be told what to do.
Sure, I understand that, but like, you know, writers are supposed to be critical of the like comedians. You know, they're supposed to be critical of the predominant thing. And to be fair to comedians, there has been some comedians who have gone, I wouldn't say to the right, because the right and left don't mean anything, but who have been critical almost from the beginning and who have thought for themselves. And I admire that. Not so much with writers.
No, I mean, if people are afraid, they're afraid of their job. If you're afraid of your job and you work to be okay with that, you're never going to be good. You're going to lose that. You're going to lose it. You can't just fold. It's not what we're about.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree. And it's like, and I've been very frustrated with a lot of writers for, I don't know, for just kind of going along, you know, there's a lot of crazy shit in the world right now and people are just going along. And I'm just like, come on.
They're just like, Bill Gates is right about everything. Like, no, Bill Gates is right, dude. So is Fauci. They're my master or whatever, dude. Like, you know, they'll take whatever somebody says on TV, dude. They're fucking idiots. Like, and they're victims, really. You know what I mean? Like they're like, I think they're victims. Like they're trauma marketing victims. You know, it's like crazy. They're just like exploiting people that are just terrified of like the worst case of death, really. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm like Christian, so I don't really care. So I'm just like, you know, I'm like my soul's infinite. If it's real, I don't think it's real though.
And I'm not even a right wing whack job like you, Anthony. I mean, I'm like I'm kind of like in the middle politically, you know. But I just like I've gotten so much shit over the last couple of years for saying things like, "Do you really think these masks work?
Yeah.
Do you really think it's social distancing is effective?
What are you, a doctor? What are you? That's all you get.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like, well, yeah. You're not an epidemiologist. I'm like, no. I live in Texas, and I observe the world around me, and people aren't. You know, it's like life's going on. You know, it's like, come on, people, wake up. Yeah, a lot of that. Yeah. Well, my doctor said that my child should wear a mask and not go to school for 2 years. I'm like, well, your doctor's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, right. My doctor actually told me to take 6 milligrams of Xanax a day for fucking 10 years. So you see what I mean? Like, that's not, you know.
Pharmaceutical sales reps.
I had a doctor prescribe me a dose of Wellbutrin that was, you know, so huge I almost had a heart attack. Yeah, exactly. Gee. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't all, sometimes they do. I mean, you know, they're usually right when they're like, you need to, you know, eat fewer carbs and lose some weight or whatever. But
yeah. But
they got about a 10% return rate, you know. They got like about a 10%.
But I can be a doctor too.
That out for yourselves. But yeah, so I've just been, you know, it's like I've spent the last couple of years, like, you know, Anthony, you know this pretty well, like just like getting in these screaming arguments with people on social media because I dare say, like, maybe we shouldn't be living this way.
You can't have an opinion of your own. You can't in this world. You can't do it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. There's somebody, whatever you put, if you want to put up anything that's even a joke, there's somebody waiting for you to hit send because they're going to fucking argue about it, whatever you post, because that's their job now.
I spent 6 months getting into fights with people on social media because I wrote articles saying that movie theaters should be open. I'm like, it seemed pretty obvious to me, you know, why do we close movie theaters? Why do we close?
Why did we close everything? We lost like 60% of independent business. Yeah. And then like going to, and then like the entrepreneurs or whatever the fuck are the businessmen are just like driving to space through rockets, like fueled by like our like town shit, you know. They shut down our town, so everybody went through Amazon and all these different companies, and they just like flex on us. Like, yeah, I'm going to
but
space.
you
and
also
you're
had to
stupid.
go. They shut down everything. You couldn't go out to eat, but now everybody had to go to this place to buy food all together. You know what I mean? It just didn't make sense. If you had everything open, and even if you cut down, like even a mom and pop thing, you go, if you want to buy a hammer or whatever, you need stuff for the house. All right, we'll set up an appointment at 2:00. You know what I mean? Just don't close them down.
And then you had to park in a designated spot, pop your trunk, and then someone would come out wearing masks and gloves and put your hardware in your trunk, and you wouldn't have any. I'm like, we're not preventing, and and it didn't do anything. None of it did. Or like I would go to the library and be like, I had to pop my trunk, and the librarian would come out and put the books in the trunk of my car.
Now, if this was a movie, say this was a movie before, if you went to sell somebody that movie of what we went through, right?
Yeah.
You walk in there and you tell them what it's about, and they go, that would never happen. Why would you even come up with this bullshit?
Well, it was insane. And you know what? If it had worked and no one had died, I'm like, okay, you were right. But it didn't. A million people still died because we didn't actually protect the nursing homes. We didn't we didn't, I imagine like if I know, I don't want to like extol Barack Obama to the skies, but if he'd been president, at least he would have been like power walking around the White House lawn, and it would have, he and Michelle would have been exercising, and it would have encouraged people to maybe live a little more healthy. But instead, we just told everyone to stay home, and people got fat and did drugs and drank themselves to death. And and then we just shut down the fucking schools. I mean,
and kids, you fucked up kids' minds. You had family family abuse, like fucking beating them, wives and husbands, and all these crazy numbers went up. Nobody had the flu. I think I was the only one to have the flu that year. That was just a regular flu. And those numbers went away, and people die. If you look at the number of people that die each year, it's basically all the same, even with
they rebranded the flu. Yeah, they rebranded the flu and called it COVID. Basically,
I mean, COVID was real. It's a little, but it's like
I don't even think it was real personally. But I mean, I can't. I know neither one of us have like evidence of it. We just have opinion, So it's just a waste of time, like debating.
It doesn't matter whether it's me. It's like at this. Well, when most, some people got sick and some people died. I mean, most people have caught it at this point.
Yeah.
I may have had it twice. I have no idea because I don't test.
Yeah, I had it twice.
Yeah, I may have. I don't know. I know people who test every day.
Yeah, but I also had AIDS twice.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, no.
You recovered.
Well, they got the medicine now on the commercials. You take it, you learn how to dance. I'm on the pill. They're fucking so happy to.
You have the Omicron variant of AIDS.
AIDS 2.
Most of Missouri didn't give a fuck at all about any of this stuff. We were like, they still had like buffets and all. Like nobody gave a fuck here. Like I don't think they're just like.
Unless you were in like St. Louis proper.
St. Louis City, yeah, fair, yeah. St. Louis, Kansas City, like Columbia, Springfield, and Raleigh, stuff like that. But outside of that,
well, and I live in Austin, which is fair, which is basically Brooklyn, Portland, whatever. But I live like kind of on the bubble between like the city and the suburbs. You drive one way, everything was closed, and people were like riding their bikes around masked. Went the other way, everything was open and no one was doing shit. And it's just like, and the results were the same. It's like a perfect control group experiment.
Well, before we get banned from all apps and deleted off social media, you guys want to, Bob, where can people find your stuff at, man? Like if they were to Google you or whatever.
You can go to Twitter. Levy_sir is my new one I had for a few years. I haven't got thrown off. And then Levyland at Levyland show or something. That's another one. Levyland Tuesdays at 7. Miserable Men show. Sundays and Mondays on Patreon or whatever we got. We got new shows coming on there. Comics on Cannabis is on YouTube and one of the stations you can listen to. I don't know. See, I'm not good at that. I just do shows. And basically Facebook's Bob Levy and whatever. There's like 3 of them, and Reverend Bob Levy fan page, whatever the fuck that's supposed to be.
Cool. You want to draw out any social media thing for people to follow you?
Yeah, I have a few things to plug. So I have a new novel out. It's been out for a couple of months. It's called Edge of Safety, and it's like it's a satire of like the COVID era, set in like a near future Canada.
Nice.
Where all the COVID rules have become like codified, and it's just people live under this like, you know, fog of.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty. I mean, I think it's pretty funny. It's short, it's funny, it's sharp. You can buy that on Amazon. And then I'm still editing this Book and Film Globe site, this pop culture site, www.bookandfilmglobe.com. And my greatest living American writer character has recently resurfaced again, and I'm writing pieces for The Spectator, which is like this kind of centrist, conservative publication. You can buy that at thespectatorworld.com. So, you know, I've got, and then usually find me at the Lodge Card Club in Austin, Texas, trying to win money playing poker.
Nice.
About 5 nights a week. So that's what I'm up to.
That's the way to live it. Oh, and we're also I'm opening a comedy club in Vineland, New Jersey. Me and Kevin Brennan. Go to kevinbrennan.com. We're opening it. We're the opening night there too, and it's called Brennan Levy's Comedy Loft. Oh. It's above a theater where, you know, they do comedy and rock bands and everything. So it'll be a Casey raised upstairs. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a real great place to play, whether it's the big room, the little room. And the area needs, you know, you don't have to go to Philadelphia. You don't have to go to Atlantic City. You don't have to almost get killed. So you don't have to go over a bridge. You know what I mean? It's something.
Hey, love having you on. I can't wait to watch the future of all the stuff that you're going about. Movies that are coming out.
I know.
You know, that's going to be awesome.
Anybody you want to plug out there?
Yeah, if you guys can follow me on OnlyFans and my Snapchat Premium.
Right on.
Nice, definitely.
Yeah, we'll put that in the details as well.
It'll be down below, folks.